Hi.
Hey, girl.
Oh, look at you. What a special week. I just want to celebrate you. I just feel excited.
Girl, me excited
Um,
too.
this is a big moment for you. I'm super proud. I'm excited. I'm fired up, man. I'm really honored that this day has come. You've deserved all of what is coming here for you. And you've just been inspiring me over the years, in so many more ways than one. So I feel very honored to be here with you today.
Oh no, let me tell you, the comments were so funny, right? Because it's like they said about today, I wish Pa Kamila then. It's literally like
Hello.
so
And here
hello.
I am. Here I am.
Yes, guys. So first of all, just big up to everybody that is joining again. I mean, the love has been insane. I really, what I telling you, the love has been insane. It's been unstoppable. Like the momentum has been so wicked good. Hi, Kimoy.
Hi, Kimberly.
From everywhere, right? Love from everywhere has been just immense. Camilla, can you imagine over 5,000 people?
Wow. Yes, I can imagine. Yes, I can imagine.
No.
I can. I can imagine.
But it would not have been a complete experience without you. It would not have been a complete experience. So I just want to say, you made my experience. I can go sleep now.
After this, you can shut it down. It's done. It's over.
You can shut it down. Right? So welcome everybody, and thanks for joining us for our last epic conversation for the week. We might have to do this every week. We get enough people that say, "Oh, this
can't stop.
This is a great movement." When you're doing it again,
you can't just start it and stop. So
yeah, just start.
No.
And so I really wanted to go out with an amazing bang and just that extra push of inspiration, and make sure that we leave with the original intention, which was really to inspire persons, to let them know that no matter what goes on in your life, no matter what level of pop down come, as long as there is breath, there is hope, and you can create and recreate and reimagine and all the things them, right?
Everything.
Yes. And your entire journey and sharing with your community, and that's why your community love you up so, has been about
I love them back.
about transformation. It's been about transformation, about when you have your up days, when you have your down days, you're really authentic, Kamila, in the way that you share and uplifting, and if it's easier having a week where you need to, focus on Lani Bear, and it's like, okay, she's my focus right now. I have to take a chill from social media. We just don't see you. And it's all good.
And all of a sudden, disappearing acts, true.
But I think it's real. I think it's real. I think you exhibit that authenticity, and I think that's what we're kind of talking about on Tuesdays. That this is who I am. I have real struggles like everybody else, and this is how I handle it. So I really just absolutely rate you for that and respect you for that, and all of the work where I come from.
Oh gosh, them days there.
way back when. I think it would be great for us to share some of that with our community this evening. So welcome.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here. Welcome everybody. Good night. Big up everybody. Oh gosh, so much excitement. I love the energy. Hey.
So this week has been an anniversary celebration, and I chose to commemorate the celebration with the launch of my books and the official launch of my cards, right?
So wait, can I tell a story, please?
Tell a story.
So actually, would it have been in 2015 or 2016?
Probably 2016.
I think it was the no, it
It
was
was
the end
2015.
of, it was the end of 2015.
Jesus, we're old.
I, oh my gosh, I don't even remember how, like, where our relationship originated. Like,
I
meaning,
remember
what
where
was that first interception?
I remember where it originated.
Tell
We
me.
were at we were at lunch. It was an afternoon up by Villa Mara.
Oh, right.
Yes.
Out in
Yes.
Ochi.
Yes.
Okay,
In
I remember.
Ocean.
And we were just chatting, and you're like, hey. I remember you were telling me about online communities and the power of them. This
Yeah.
time, this was literally 5 years ago. I was like,
Yeah.
online training. What is that? Like, I can't manage. She's like, you have to do it. Membership communities are powerful. That's where you can really make an impact. I'm like, boy, I don't know.
Yes.
For any of you guys that are tuning in that maybe you're being introduced to Stacey for the first time, now listen to me. Wow. There are not many people that blow me away in the way that this lady does.
Oh,
And trust me, after a long day, not many people could call me out of my bedroom to have a chat. But I always say, Stacey said, jump. Me say, how high?
Yes.
I really look up to her. For those of you who don't know, she's launching her book this week, correct?
Yes, girl. Yes, girl.
Now
You have to tell them the book story. You have to tell them the book story.
Yeah, she kicked cancer in the butt. This is 10 years. So hello, me want to peer forward, me want to peer like, me want to peer celebration right now. Like, give some excitement because this is 10 years celebrating Stacey kicking breast cancer in the butt and like dominating her life. She's the mother of 3 beautiful children who are all intelligent, and she is just doing a bag of things. And where our relationship became most meaningful, where it really began, was that we ended up realizing that we were both writing books at the same time.
Yes.
Now,
Guys,
when
guys, this is years ago. We realized
this is the end of, this was the end of 20, no, this was the beginning of 2016.
2016. Okay, and
Yeah.
I have been writing my book from 2012.
Right, because her book is on her entire cancer survival, thrival journey, and I literally, like, listen, if you listen to this woman's story, like, I swear, when I first sat down and talked to her, my jaw like dropped. Like, her story is incredible. It's magnificent. It is inspiring. It is amazing. So I remember talking through, and it was just so cool because, I mean, not many people at that time, could have said, yeah, man, I'm writing a book too.
Me too. You want us to write together?
You're writing a book?
And it sounded so cool. You want us to
and,
write together?
And that time, I think I only had the outline of my book, and it just felt so intimidating and so daunting. And I think we both connected on the fact that, like, writer's block is real. Like, when you are going through like real life challenges, that kind of take you away, because when you're writing, it requires you to be in such a space of inspiration. It requires you to be living from that authentic place. You can't have a vex day and write an inspirational page. Where that's a go. You understand? And like, for me as a writer personally, like, my environment, my immediate environment completely impacts my work. It completely impacts my creativity. If I'm not exercising, if I'm not.
It is so true. Like, let me tell you something. Yeah.
So Stacey and I basically started to connect, and we said, how about we become accountability partners, writing partners? And I was like, that's kind of cool. I never really thought of that before. I have accountability partners in all of my wellness programs, and it's powerful.
Yes.
And I'm like, that makes so much sense. And like, I found that, like, meeting Stacey every week and having to have a update, unless you just want to be lame, I'm on that same page that I spoke about last week. And sometimes we would just sit kind of across the room. I would most times go to her house, and we would kind of just sit and work in silence. We would brainstorm, we would share ideas with each other. And it was so therapeutic for me at that time, because I think there were very few people who understood like what was on my heart to write, you know, which really required me to go back and dig deep into a very vulnerable space and place. You know, at that time, 2015, I feel like it was in the root of it. I still didn't even get through it yet. You know, I feel like I wrote that book for myself, because I often go to the same pages and I have to reread it, because this awakening, this, you know, just realizing your higher self is something that it's a journey, right? And it's a journey that never ever ends. So we're always, it's kind of like an ebb and flow. It's not, most people think it's like linear, and it's like, you know, it grows exponentially and you just become this magical person. Yes.
This is it.
Okay. No, this is it. Up, down, round. You understand? It ain't linear, girl. So, you know, it just really was impactful for me to have somebody who kind of understood what that meant, to go through some of your hardest moments in life and write about it, because you were able to figure out tools that helped you to get from that rock bottom place. And that, you know, it really literally was on my heart. Some days I'm like, why the hell is this on my heart? I don't want to write a book, it's too hard.
But isn't it healing though? Isn't it a part of the healing process?
It is absolutely a part of it. I'm a writer by nature. My dad actually is an author of 8 manuscripts. One of them are already published. And, you know, I kind of grew up with that. My mom is a songwriter. So I kind of saw a lot of expression through words. And so, and I didn't even, honestly, if you told me 8 years ago I was going to write a book, like I didn't ever really think of myself as an author, but there just became a part in my life where I just felt heavy, so heavy to share. It was like a calling. It was bigger than me. I didn't want it necessarily, but there were some days, literally, like some days I felt myself, my fingers were writing. It was just kind of, you know, divine inspiration really coming through me. A lot of the times. And I found that I had many of those magic moments at your house, because we kind of got into that rhythm. You know, it was a zone. Like I created my own little thing. That was the one day a week that I didn't pick up Kaylani from school. My aunt picks her up, and she's fine. She's over there. She's great. And I could just zone out and be with somebody who, you know, just really, you inspire me so much, Stacey. Honestly, like I can't speak to how much your life and how you've been able to kind of, you know, again, come out on to your higher self, you know, and realize what your purpose here is on earth. And, you know, you're impacting so many people. And it really is a beautiful, epic
journey. No, it's really,
epic journey.
You know what, Cams, I wanted to point out to everybody that's on, right? We were talking about it. It was the last session on Tuesday night when we were talking about with Sandra, and she was saying that, you know, she helps people with that, removing that block to get it
very
out.
Cool. Yes,
right?
True. Big upset, big hell.
Everybody's block removes at different times, because I remember when you and I decided that we were going to do this accountability partner thing, and we told Nicole, and Nicole
she's like, wait, hold on, I'm going to do this too. But hear the joke about Nicole now. Nicole was like, all right, you guys writing book, I'm writing book, like I've been working on this book, I want to be an accountability partner. Nicole ended up, she started, I swear, it must have been like the January, was it? I think it was January.
She started the year before, like when we were starting, we were getting together to continue.
Right.
We were getting together to continue. She was starting. And like 3, 4, 5, 6 months, boom.
Months after,
book drop.
Just say, release, book. Yes, say, hold on. By the way, 1.5 years later was my book.
Okay.
How much? 4.5 years later is yours? Hello. Big up.
Okay.
Oh
So
my
guys,
gosh.
it's going to come at different times for different people.
Absolutely.
What you really want to do though, you want to make sure that you're surrounding yourself with people that are on a similar mission. Like if you
Absolutely.
have a
Yeah.
purpose to serve in your life, you
Mm-hmm.
don't want to, and this was a consistent theme. Surround
Wow.
yourself with people that aren't going to pull you down.
Yeah.
Right?
Straight.
So,
Yeah.
and don't bother look over and bad mind about it and say, oh, but oh,
No, or
they're
don't even
poor
look
mind.
over.
Yeah,
Don't
don't
even
do
look
that.
over because it's coming from within. It's
It's coming
literally
from
that.
this.
There's nothing else. Whatever else is going on
Exactly.
the sidelines, like this is it.
Hi, Sandra. I
And
just
like,
called your name, Sandra.
hi Sandra, we miss you. So yeah, it's to me, it raises a magical energetic vibration when you connect with somebody else that can
Yeah.
help to tap
Hi,
into that
Shelly.
authentic inner power. Like it, as he said, it doesn't really matter what else is going on around. It's like if something is bubbling up inside of you and you have the
Yes.
right environment, if you yourself is, you yourself are aligned properly, because many times we can be misaligned in so many different ways,
Yes.
mentally, physically,
Emotion.
emotionally. I mean, just
Spiritual.
literally, it ends up spiritually, of course, probably the biggest one of them all,
Mm-hmm.
and when you are misaligned with that, it's like everything goes haywire. But the
Yeah.
beautiful thing is that our bodies are incredible structures and beings, and very, very quickly we can realign
Yeah.
once we know the tools that we have to access. And one of them really is our environment, and who are we spending the most time with, like
Yes.
who is fueling and fanning our flames
Oh,
to,
God.
kind of really harness and bring out, who you are destined to be. Yeah, because
Yeah.
again, as we said earlier, it's a journey. It's a never ending journey.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. No, you're absolutely right. And I actually wanted to make a point there, Cams, because one of the things that I spoke about on Wednesday night, last night was Wednesday, right? Yes. But on Wednesday night, I was kind of sharing that, I have been dealing with my own fears
yeah.
in terms of bringing my story and sharing myself online. I remember when we were up at Skyline and you and Nicole were explaining Instagram to me.
We're like, get with it, girl.
Yes, and I was
You gotta
like,
get with it.
I will just help other people. I will
Yeah,
help other people. And
yeah.
you were like, no, what are you talking about? You just need to take pictures. I need to talk to people. I need to share. I need to. And I was just like,
You're
yeah,
like, what? Wait, no thanks.
yeah.
Yeah.
And it took a while for me to come out of that shell and to share. And it's because, I would get caught in the stories that are in my head. So even
Yeah.
when you see me sitting here or you see
Yeah.
Kamila sitting here, we don't
Yeah.
start off just
No.
like, hey.
Oh no. And you don't end up there either, meaning there are many days, because the truth is we're all human. We all have our shit that we don't want to face sometimes,
Yes.
because it's easier to not face it.
Do
Let's be
not
real.
yes.
And if you don't face it, then that kind of keeps you further and further and further away from your authentic self. But you
Yes.
see, from you getting your authentic self, ain't
Yes.
nothing can stop you, because you're in alignment with your purpose, you're in alignment with your destiny, and it just kind of works again back to the spiritual alignment.
Yes.
Because we can't forget that, like, all inspiration, all everything comes from him. You understand? I strongly stand by that and believe that. You understand? So it's
Absolutely.
just it's something that we have to protect. We have to protect our energy. We have to protect our ability to be in an alignment, and that takes daily conscious decisions and thoughts and actions and habits and behaviors. It's a
So
consistent thing.
I put you on the spot now. How do
Mhm.
you protect your energy? No, like how are you? Are you better at it now
Oh
than
my
you
God,
were?
than 5 years ago. Like, we don't even have to. I mean, it's like night and day, and what's really cool is that my understanding of that and what it takes has evolved over the years, right? So like while I was writing the book, so much of it was on the nutrition aspect. You know, it goes into great detail about, you know, what I believe that we should be eating and not eating to be able to achieve that, and how we should be exercising, how we should be thinking. You know, the book is infused with affirmations because that has become, you know, a very important part of my day, right? As you know. Um, but very recently, I would say it has evolved even deeper than that, right? Spiritual was also, you know, something that I have always worked on, and, you know, try to really make sure that I have a healthy relationship with my creator. And, you know, I have a strong sense of who I am and whose I am, really. That's kind of what it boils down to, for me. But I would say in the last year, I've understood the power of sleep, you know.
Ooh,
And yeah,
girl,
I mean, you
I
know,
remember
listen, you
some
can tell
hard
some
talk.
story upon me. You know, Stacy has some dirt on me because I would say that I'm just wired for that. Like I go, like that's how I've achieved in life. That's kind of how, you know, I've gotten from one stage to the next. Any major achievement in life, whether or not it's graduating from college, master's degree, whatever it is, having a child, like all of these things required me to like go hardcore, wear this badge of honor because I pulled double all-nighters and I'm working and I'm so stressed and I don't have no time and I don't have no this and like
Oh my
that
God.
was my constant narrative, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
The universe had a different plan for me.
Amen.
This was December of just last year, and we were kind of moving into when would have been the busiest time, which you knew,
Yeah.
because that story is that Stacy was the first person to launch. In fact, she's the first person, if there's anybody who was in Camp Kamila tribe in
Yeah.
2016, right? I saw Delisa from Trinidad. Who else? Gonna big up on herself, right? Because if it wasn't for this lady right here, I would not have even thought. I mean, she was the one who said, Cam, this is what you need to do. I remember I was living at my parents' house. Kaylani was maybe, I want to say, she was maybe what, 4?
4, yeah, like 3 or 4. Was she
She was
4?
about 4.
4.
And I took a leap of faith to move out of my parents' house on my own for the first
Jesus, I
time.
remember that.
Woo! Whoa!
Right?
Let's just say it was a turbulent couple of years.
Yes.
However, one of the projects that we worked on together was Camp Kamila Tribe, which was a membership community. Who knew? 4 years later, right? 4 years?
Yes. Yes.
We wouldn't have
Here
a choice.
comes.
We're here.
Here
We're
comes.
stuck at home.
Yeah. Well,
It's unreal to me.
well,
Unreal.
yeah.
So I would say from about 2016 days, I have been pushing the limits, you know, going like way too hard and just like thinking that that was cool. And it was like so far from cool because I was destroying myself. I hit a major burnout in 2019. Major. You talk about runway from social media. I think I probably came off social media for good. I don't know. And I needed to. And then in December, basically my phone crashed. I got locked out of all social media. I got locked out of all email, anything.
Yeah.
My phone crashed. I still haven't kind of relocated some of those files or images or anything, videos, content in general. Long story short, how in 2020 you lose that, I don't know, but here I am. And it was like for 3 entire weeks, I didn't have a choice. Like my phone crashed and my computer crashed. It was all double authentication. And so they were sending, you know, all of the reset password things to my phone in Jamaica, except I was not in the country. Long story short, the universe created an opportunity for me to not have.
You had a personal technology pandemic.
There we go. I had my pandemic before the real one hit.
Before the real one. Yes.
And I literally didn't, at first, I felt like a drug addict because I was like, wait, hold on. I can't get into anything. I was locked out of Instagram at the time where I was launching my January health and wellness offering. What do you mean? Like, I actually don't think I got back into Instagram until like January 9th.
Wow.
Okay, this is my busiest time of year. And I slept, I slept, I slept, I slept, I slept, I slept. I slept like I was going in hibernation. I was like, something must be wrong with me. I like started to freak out because I was just sleeping. I couldn't sleep. The more I slept was the more I just wanted to sleep. And my body was literally holding me down in the bed and saying, enough, you're abusing your body, like enough. Like this whole staying up late thing, it's not cool. It's not doing your body justice. You're not 18 years old anymore. Like, let's get real. So, so I mean, what I accessed without even realizing it, during that period was something that I just didn't even plan for. The power and the way that it changed my life and just my ability to feel completely balanced and aligned in a way that I hadn't even accessed before. Like, forget the green juice, forget the kale salad, forget the HIIT workouts. Like, are you kidding me? That sleep thing, oh my gosh. I feel like I want to write my next book on the power of sleep and how it's literally transformed my life. And now, back to your question, the long-winded answer is that I think that's one of my tools, is that I get very, very non-negotiable about my bedtime. And where I would prefer...
Do you have it on your phone when you like turn
sleep,
off your
wind down now. Yeah, I have the sleep app.
I that too. I'll sometimes I talk and then all of a sudden
I'm like, oh shoot, it's that time already.
Yes.
But you know what it forces you to do? It forces you to get very organized. And so now, for the first time in my life, I'm time blocking. At this time in my day, yes, you should be proud of me. You should be a proud teacher, Stace. I must have driven you crazy in 2016. I believe it. I don't even have any question. I think I drove you crazy because I just didn't know how to time block. I didn't know how to organize my time.
Shawnee's like, what is this?
Shawnee? Oh my gosh. Shawnee must be proud of me. Yes, this is time blocking. This is the new and improved, not sleep deprived Kamila. But yeah, I would say that it now forces you to set boundaries, you know, and so somebody want vex. This is not the time I'm answering emails. I know you sent it an hour ago, but like I'm answering it at 3 p.m.
Yes.
Because
that's okay.
And that's okay, you know? And so, and I think that that was one of my biggest things, just even being an entrepreneur, and the fact that like the buck stops with you. Like if you stop working, like that's it, you know? You kind of go, you know, you have to stay with it. And so it's really been a powerful tool in just prioritizing sleep and then having to force myself to make sure that I stay organized, because I know at 10 p.m. that's it, lights out. In fact, at 9:30 meditation starts, and that's another very cool tool for me that has just been super life-changing. Right now I'm on to Louise Hay, love her to death.
Heal thyself.
Heal thyself, or I can do it.
I can do it.
Tune in. If you're not tuned in, you're missing out.
You know what? I'm telling you that I feel that this whole thing that's happening with COVID, that is actually putting people on a different level of anxiety and depression and stress and worry, is going to actually open people's minds up to things like mindfulness and meditate. Because a lot of people will hear you talk about that stuff.
Yeah, but it's on hairy-fairy.
Yeah, it's hairy-fairy. But I'm going to tell you,
it's for the yogis.
By the time social distancing done and everything, you're going to be so damn zen, because you know that we have nothing else but yourselves to cope with, right?
In fact, I have an even more exciting announcement. I actually signed up for an online meditation course in December. So it's mindfulness and meditation. And in this time, it has allowed me to continue, because you know when you sign up for something and you just know and there's no expiry date, it dead so, and you're just like, yeah man, I can get to it. And it hasn't been until this period that I have kind of brought that into my time block, because of how powerful it has been for me. I want to be able to integrate meditation at the end of every one of my workouts, because you know, when we are at that place, we're releasing endorphins, we're releasing serotonin, we're on those feel-good hormones. You know, exercise is such an underused tool to be able to manage some of these anxieties and the stress of life. And you know, at that time when we're most open, our muscles are warm, our heart is open, we're feeling good and on top of our life, then that is the most powerful time I found to just kind of even go into a 2-minute meditation, you know, setting intentions on the next time that you get to honor your body in that way, you know. So yeah, I've taken it a little bit deeper and really been focusing on some stress management, because you know, anybody that knows me from this knows that that was my thing, like stress ball, and it was my narrative. It became the thing. Oh my God, I'm so busy. I have so much to do. I'm so stressed.
I'm a badge of honor. I'm a workaholic.
Stay up. I work hard.
It's the prized addiction, they call it. Workaholism is like a prized addiction. You know, people look up to, oh my gosh, you work so hard. You know, so people think, you know, yes, you know, that you are so deserving of everything. And oh, you have hypertension because you work so hard. My gosh, you know, I just feel it's like, no, you need to go to sleep.
Go to sleep.
Meditate.
Yeah.
And just relax and do nothing.
Yeah.
How about that?
Exactly. And the funny thing is that I would say that there have been many days, especially in this COVID. We're now in our 6th week, I think, here in Jamaica. I think this is week 6.
March 11th is when it landed.
We're 6 weeks into lockdown, or like this kind of new norm, crazy. Whew, what is happening with the world? But anyway, you know, I would say that there are a couple of times, well, I'm going to be honest, where I, you know, kind of lost sight of that awakening, and I had to kind of find it back. And every time that I lose sight of it, it's like, duh, you know, that this is what's happening. This is why you're uber emotional, uber sensitive, snapping at everything, not being patient with Kaylani, feeling like everything is so overwhelming. But just want shut off everything and just Lord God. You know what I mean? But when you do kind of realign, and as we were saying earlier, the body is such an incredible, miraculous structure that very, very quickly we can realign and get back those tools of a good night's sleep, of stress management tools, of meditation, of exercise, of eating, you know, nutrient dense food that are feeding and fueling your purpose, not just carnival come up or ray. You understand? So you're gonna eat the lowest calorie thing and whatever. It's not about that. You know, in fact, I think that's one of my
COVID took away all the external things that make you motivated and make you want to do
it.
Remove all of that. So now, if you want a summer body, want it for yourself, not because you want it.
And that really is just like a side effect of everything else. I mean, it's an incredible side effect. Who don't want a summer body? Let's be real. You understand? You want to sit down on the beach and feel good about yourself and all of those things. All well and good. It's an inevitable side effect once you are honoring and you're committing your body, you know, every day, not just with the workouts, because it's not just the workouts. It really is a broad spectrum that like that that honoring of your body, it never stops. You have to keep doing it, and that's how you access the magic of it, really.
No,
you know,
I want to ask you something here, because it's interesting that you shifted from meditation, which is actually the perfect direction, right? From meditation, which is really that mind brain work, right, and soul work, that kind of inner deep work, to then the body. And there are times when I can definitely speak to that, where you fall away from your routine, from your good to myself routine. And what I've found is that the meditation space is a lot more forgiving. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
you'll feel yourself being anxious and snappy and short-sighted, and you'll kind of suffer in that way. But when you come back to center, it's a very forgiving space.
It is very
it's so beautiful.
Yeah.
But the body part now, let me tell you something, guys. From me meet Kamila to this day, Kamila tried to get me for exercise. From 2015 till now.
Literally, I'm like, come
right?
to
Okay, and may I tell you, my giant, I mean, literally, like, I am the one that is there having the videos. Like, I have backdoor access. Not people that think, boy, if me did have the program there for free, me that do it. Listen,
you have it right there.
Right there. And Kamila would say, did you do the workout today?
You're like, no, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna.
So I really admire that you're able to make sure that your temple is still moving, because one of the things I discovered for myself this year, which is when I went to Oprah in January.
Right. I remember that.
I discovered this for myself as one of the things that I had for my intention for the year is that I wanted a wealth-worthy temple. Mm-hmm. So yes, I want abundance in my life. Yes, I want lots of love and lots of money and lots of exposure and lots of goodness and lots of great relationships, lots of love. Like I want a wealthy, abundant life. But if my body, if my temple that is allowing me to experience that life cut down, all the wealth in the world doesn't matter. So I want a wealth-worthy temple. And I think that without having a wealth-worthy temple, it's really difficult for you to serve that purpose. So how you going to start out the whole of to get that wealth-worthy temple that is more than just the exercise.
Right,
It's more than just that, you know. What are your tools that you share now?
I would say, and again, this, because there was just this unexpected shift. Like when the first case hit Jamaica, it was either a Wednesday or Thursday. I was 2 weeks into my first physical program in Jamaica in 11 years. And, you know about it. I was super excited. I was, kind of wanting to be in Jamaica and connect and reconnect myself here. I've been doing, Camp Kamila, traveling, doing my little online challenges, as you know, over the years, doing the tribe. But I felt like I wanted a physical space here to connect back with Jamaica. As always, the universe had a different plan. 2 weeks later,
well,
it was
actually
like, stay online.
Remember we had lunch at the
Yes,
and we were talking about all the plans and everything.
Oh my gosh, because that was before COVID hit Jamaica.
Right, it was the week before.
It was the week before. Oh my gosh, we had lunch that week before. Yeah. And I'm telling you, of all the plans, that just show you that, there's always the higher plan and you have to know how to surrender. And so I think a very big part of what has become a very important tool for me recently, again, after having to learn and recreate new tools since this new reality, we were all forced for the first time in our lifetime, all at the same time, to completely shift life as we've ever known it before.
Yes.
Right? And I think in that same space, like, we have to be more gentle and compassionate with ourselves. We always want the compassion and the gentleness and the thing from other people. Like, we have to be okay. Like, if you're out there struggling and like this is being crazy, like you're like, what the hell is this? I feel that quite often, actually. Like, I can't believe the severity of what our reality is right now. It's mind-boggling. Sometimes it keeps me up at night. Just the stories, the people. I mean, it's just like, it's a lot. And so if you don't find a routine, like a wellness, personal, with your own self routine, like, it's almost impossible to keep the lid on it and like keep yourself sane, And so for me, even though I start so early in the mornings, because I prioritize going to bed at night, and I've never before COVID done this where I'm meditating in the morning and I'm meditating in the evening. Like anytime that I do that on a consistent basis, my days just run so much more smoothly. It's full of so much more abundance. I'm finding gratitude just really effortless, and you know, just like a practice that I'm really beginning to enjoy. Like it reminds me that I have power over my thoughts. So regardless of what reality it is that we're facing right now, we can tell ourselves a completely different narrative, and we can
Absolutely.
choose the positive one, right?
Yeah.
And like I think as humans we're just naturally wired to the negative because it kind of gives us the reassurance that it's okay if you feel popped down right now and you feel like the world is ending and like you just don't know what to do. Who cares? Because the world has suffered and everything just gone bad and everything I got popped down and whatever, and it just kind of gives you that reassurance to be like, all right, I'm not so terrible, right? It's almost like choosing the powerful thought requires you to step into
Yes.
your higher self
Yes.
and to do the work that requires you to stay
Absolutely.
in that place of, you know,
Yes.
vibrance and abundance and positivity
The
and
intention
just
setting
the
is so
intention
key.
setting, the
So
affirmations,
affirmations.
you
Yes.
know, those kind of things. And so for me, just like having a non-negotiable routine with myself, I also just recently restarted journaling because journaling, in fact, in my book, I speak a lot about it because it's something that was very life transforming for me. And so I've started it back within another context, meaning I have a habit tracker now. And so at the end of every month, I basically kind of take a reflection on how much I am doing these things that I want to hold myself accountable for. So in a page of a journal, and this was actually inspired by my baby sister, Caddy. Big up yourself wherever you are. She's in Cali. Maybe she's watching. I don't know if she is. She is boss with. She's the youngest of all of us. But she has just kind of, she's very anal with and meticulous with her schedule and like tracking things and becoming better and more aware and reflecting. And so she created this really cool journal that I adopted and, you know, just kind of added my own flair to it. And, you know, so basically at the top of a page at the end of every month, I have, or at the, let's say the page is like this, right? And on the left column, I'm tracking all of the things that I want to improve, right? So I want to make sure that I'm meditating as often as possible. I want to make sure I'm exercising as often as possible. I want to make sure that I'm staying adequately hydrated. How many nights do I have, you know, at least eight hours sleeping? You know, how many days did I go out in nature and just like shut off and just connect and reconnect? How many days did I read a piece of, you know, a book that I've wanted to read for a really long time, but I just haven't gotten to it? I used to be fluent in Spanish and I just I mean, I used to live in Chile, and so luckily living there for 6 months, I have a certain amount of like recollection. It's kind of like riding a bike, but I
Yeah.
really want to be able to get back a certain amount of fluency with Spanish because I adore languages. And you know, these little things that we think we are too busy for, right? But
Yes.
when we create the space for them, it opens up again and allows us to tap into our authentic self, which is where inspiration lives. That's where we're not even
Absolutely.
trying. We just wake up and we just
Yes.
start type something that really means
Yes.
something to somebody else, or, you know, and so taking time every day to make sure I check in, and I do a little checkbox. So I actually draw the lines down the page and I cross them that way. And I have day 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, all the way to 30. And then I
Yes.
have on the left side the habits that I'm trying to
Trying
improve.
to create.
You
Love,
understand? And
love
so
a
every
habit tracker.
day every day I go and I just kind of like tick it off, and then I get inspired because I'm like, hold on, I'm really keeping up with my Spanish.
Yes.
Like, you know, you
Yes.
don't want to break your little streak of like
Yes.
how much you are.
Have in mind.
Yeah. And so it inspires me to continue, and not like, you know, how many days a week in a row did I clean eat, you know, because I believe in the power of cheating and throwing away all the damn rules and just having the cheesecake and the 2 glasses of wine or even the bottle, right? But as long as you're not doing that every day, you know, you have your little one box where you tick off and say, okay, I had the chocolate, the ice cream, and the wine that night, yeah, but that was it. I move on. You understand? And so for me, just kind of creating a little routine, a spiritual routine, you know, with connecting with myself. A lot of us right now, we're alone, and it makes us uncomfortable because it's forcing us to face some of the things that the busyness of life really kind of just covered up, right? We never before have to kind of like face who we are, what our weaknesses are, what our insecurities are, what are the disgusting, yucky, ugly things about ourselves that we don't necessarily want to face, that require you to face them in order to get to the next level of yourself, right?
Yeah.
Because
and
we're
you know,
just
on that point, you know, a lot of people, I think people think, oh, I'm alone and I'm by myself. Like if they live alone, or if they're not, you know, they're not with somebody, they're like, oh my gosh, my life is so much worse. And then you have people that are couples that feel like, oh my gosh, I have to stay in the house with this person. I'm gonna die. I'm gonna lose my mind. So in any of the two situations, you really do have to face yourself.
true.
Or even if you're with somebody else, in order to be with a person, you really have to be with yourself in a solid way first.
Absolutely. Yeah,
right?
yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, because it's like if you are not firm within yourself, then you ebb and flow to that person's energy, to that, and that person is dealing with their own shit too. Like, let's be real. In fact, half of that shit is being projected on you as you are projecting on them. And it's a cluster mess, right? So, you know, it really is, it's almost like we have a responsibility to really get to the core of who we are and face some of these very difficult, ugly things that we all have. There's not one single one minute business how much money you have, where you drive, where you live, what you do. It does not matter.
I think COVID was the level playing field because you don't care who you are. It's affecting everybody. It's shifting everybody's mind.
Absolutely.
It creates that opportunity for everyone to actually spend time with themselves, right? And look beyond the stuff or the jobs or the whatever it is that is the distraction, right? And really face life.
There you go.
You know,
for some people it's alcohol, for some people it's food and sugar and salt and drugs, and the list goes on. You know, it's just kind of like a cop-out way of saying this is what I'm gonna do to numb. And that's why when you really think of overeating, I mean, I think even just the way in which the nuance of, you know, just word sound power, like how it sounds, overeating. It's like we're overeating because something internally is eating us, and we're stuffing it away. We're not facing it. We're stuffing it away with food. That word overeating is a very powerful word. You know, it's heavy. It's intense, you know. And so we at this time, I would say more than anything else, we have to access those very, you know, very deep, ugly, unwanted truths that we all, you know, it's just it's a more productive thing to be able to face that, even though it's harder, because as you said, if for example you're living with somebody at that time, if you are responsible for your own energy and, you know, just kind of how you perceive the world, how you perceive them, their strengths, their weaknesses, you know, it's not just about relationships, and that doesn't just go for your significant other. It's your like relationship with your daughter or your son,
your children,
your parents, your siblings.
Somebody actually wrote and said, you know, it's really heavy. And I think that's what happens to persons is that when they start to dig and they see or they feel the weight of it, they want to stuff it back down because it's almost fear of, it's like you feel like you have to bear it up for the rest of your life.
Right.
But the truth is you bring it up so that you can really look at it and say, okay, what is this here to teach me?
Sure.
You know, that's what it's all about. That discomfort, that thing that you're not sure of, that doubt, that fear, that icky, that yucky, those habits that are not serving you, the overeating or over or whatever it is.
Whatever it is.
It is there because you really want some clarity about the direction and purpose of your life. And because you're not sure of what is going to come up. You know, they have that Marianne Williamson quote that talks about you actually being more afraid of your greatness
than you are than anything else.
That's really what it's about. So the heaviness is just the brain signal trying to protect it, trying to say, no, leave it alone. You don't know what is down there. But when you move past that thought, this is heavy, I know that beyond the heavy is clarity, is access, is greatness, is success, is all the rest of the goody things. You will be willing to lift up the weight and, you know,
absolutely. Somebody had said that we're draping her up, right? Jaybird. But I think in addition to the fear, you know, which is the fear of the greatness, right? Because in order to be great, it requires you to step up again back to that higher self, which requires work, right? And I think the fear of greatness just comes from knowing that it's going to require every single bit of you to reach to that greatness. So it's almost like we don't even bother want it subconsciously, you know, because of what it's going to require of you. You're going to have to work out, you're going to have to face some ish, you're going to have to show up for yourself every day. And it's easier to not show up for yourself. Let's be real, you know? And I think what we have to remember though is that the compassion for self, again, we brought that up earlier, but I couldn't emphasize this anymore because it's something that I learned the hard way. You know, I'm very, very hard on myself. And we have to remember that some of these things that we're navigating through, they've been wired from earlier than we can even remember it. So even things like overeating, even things like, so it's easier to just like speak it and say, you know, don't overeat. Face the ugly things about yourself. Go through the pain because, you know, you're gonna come out stronger than ever before, and all of these things. It sounds great, you know, right? But like, you know, at the end of the day, we have to remember that we're creatures of habit, and like going back to overeating, like think about how from as early as when we were children and our parents celebrated us with food. They deprived us from, you know, food was the thing. It's like everything was centered around food. If you got a good report card, you get to go ice cream. You get the thing, whatever, you know. It's like we almost associate anything heightened emotionally, whether it's good or bad, around food. Think about it. One of the most prominent, most important pieces of a wedding are the food. You want to know if the food tastes good. The cake, the this, the that. If somebody pass away and we're coming together, it's the too. You understand? If it's a birthday, if it's a this, it's a that. And so it's like, you know, at the same time, like while it's easy to just be like, yes, you need to meditate and you need to do all of these things and face the ugly things about yourself, and like, you know, like at the same time, give yourself compassion and know that like it's not going to happen overnight. Like we come from this instant gratification part of life. Or
Kamila's chapter 20 and your chapter 1 is 2 different chapters. Like
yeah, absolutely. You know, and so, you know, we didn't kind of, you know, create these ugly pieces of ourselves that need to be healed, right? They weren't created overnight, you know. And whether or not that is in the physical manifestation, which was for me a few years ago, right? But it could be many things. It could just be depression. It could be you know, just being stuck and feeling like you don't really know your purpose. It could be just so many different things that like it's important, and anxiety, you know,
Yeah.
whatever, like unhealthy relationships, these kind of things, it didn't happen overnight. And so we have to know that, like, first of all, if we're showing up for ourselves every day, again, that transformation and that awakening is inevitable. Like, it's
Yeah.
not a question about it. It's just when will it happen? It might not happen in your time. And I talk about this all the time with anybody that I'm training where weight loss is concerned. Dash where the scale sometime. Nobody look on it. Because if you
I
show up for the workout them and you're
cut
eating the
down.
things where you have to eat and you are asleep, so your body now produce cortisol and store the fat around your belly, and you
Exactly.
now do all of them things there and you drink your water, it a go come. It might take a little time. It not go come as quickly as you want it come, but it a go
Yeah.
come.
Yeah.
So it's just a
So
matter of like understanding that and like trusting the process and like knowing like as difficult as it's gonna be, like you need to go through that in order to come out awakened and like again being able to show up for your higher self. It's not something that does come overnight, and it's always something that requires you to revisit, you know, because it kind of changes and molds dependent on what's coming at you, you know.
so Cam, this is actually really like life giving. I think I'm definitely sensing that people are catching the vibes, especially because everybody's home
Yeah.
and people used to rely on saying, "Oh, I'm going to the gym," because the gym was another look good thing,
Mm-hmm.
right? I go to
Mm-hmm.
the gym, yeah, man, and I'm gonna go to the juice bar and get my green juice. And
Right.
gym
In my
lock, juice
Lululemons.
bar lock, and all of a sudden, exercise and everything else locked too.
Yeah.
So, what are you creating now that people can do wherever they are at
Yeah.
home while we are all going through this experience?
Yeah, well, funnily enough, as we spoke about earlier on this live, like back in 2016, we created an online experience which, you know, kind of required everybody to show up for themselves in these big ways, right? But that we had a very supportive community to kind of hold us accountable,
Yeah.
help us to navigate the process. We were doing lives,
Yes.
um,
Webinar.
webinars, all of these things. So fast forward, you know, what is it, 4 years later,
Yeah.
again, thinking that my offering was going to be an online, I mean, a in-person
In
space
person.
in Jamaica, and it kind of took me right back to where I kind of began, where I think my philosophy has always been that you don't need an expensive gym membership,
Yeah.
with big fancy equipment and, you know, the most to be able to get a good workout in, that you can get a good workout in right at home, sometimes using some of the same things that we have at home,
Household things. Yeah.
household things, you know, that kind of has been my messaging over the years, right? Using water bottles,
Oh wow.
you know, I did that first back in maybe 2013, I want to say, maybe 2012, 2013. Kaylani was about 1 year old.
Okay.
I put
So,
a mop stick.
so I am just getting my time check,
Oh,
and
that's it.
Instagram started to count us
Oh,
down.
wow. Look at
So
that. That was
I
quick.
don't want to, I really do want to share about WellFit, because people are like, WellFit, WellFit. So if we can just hop up and then just take 5 more minutes
Okay.
just to share about WellFit to make sure
Right.
everybody knows about it. And yeah. All right, so I'm
Because
going
the
to
girl
hop
got to
off.
get ready for bed. Bedtime soon.
Yes, because it's like bedtime. Come right back, guys, because we're coming back on for like 5 minutes. So come right back.
Okay.
No problem. Oh, let's see, guys. Okay, we're jumping on. We want to hear about all of the great things that Kamila is doing now in the space of. Hi, honey. All of the things Kamila is doing now in the space of WellFit and that journey that she's taking us all on from home, right? Regardless of where we are. Here comes Kamzi. Yellow. Hi, Jace. Yes, guys. So we were right at the point where Cam was telling us about an amazing program that she has going now, and I'm being very, very deliberate about making sure we stick to the bedtime.
Yes, we have
So
to.
5 more minutes, because I
Okay.
said to you, yeah, about 45 minutes now.
I know.
And we can like shut down the place.
Unreal. I can't believe it's 9 o'clock. Wow. You see? Time blocking. You're the master of that.
All right. So you were telling us about WellFit.
Yes. So, well, I was just talking about in general what I've been working on to offer at this time. So the first one, because I know we all love free things, and I just really have to big up Canopy Insurance. They're a brand new health insurance company in Jamaica. And about 8 months ago, we started working on on-demand lifestyle change program that has a combination of workout videos, nutrition videos, motivational videos, recipe videos, just kind of everything that you need to kind of guide you on your journey. It's a 30-day challenge. And you can either follow it as a day 1, day 2, day 3, and each day is kind of prescribed for you. Day 3, watch this video. Day 4, you do this workout kind of thing. Or you can take it thematically, where, you know, let's say you want to learn about added sugar or how to build a best breakfast, or you want to find a recipe. I wrote 2 ebooks for this particular program on just kind of a nutrition guide. And so it's a comprehensive approach to lifestyle change. So that's happening. You can access it at camp-canopy.com. In fact, it was created specifically for Canopy members, insurance holders. And again, big up Canopy Insurance for even thinking about the importance of preventative health and how much keeping their members healthy before they even got sick. Like, this has literally been a dream project for me, because it's like, you know, my work is really led by the inspiration in how much we can heal our bodies through our habits every single day, right? And, you know, some of these lifestyle diseases that we're facing, you know, which are like heart disease, type 2 diabetes, all types of cancer, as you know, in terms of like what your treatment kind of entailed. You had to, you know, drink certain types of teas, and you had to completely change your diet, and because these things actually matter. So like added sugar literally feeds cancer. Like, it's not like this is scientifically proven.
Be careful of like alcohol and even like bread.
Absolutely.
You don't think about how much sugar is in it.
Right. And so this program kind of gets into detail. Now, WellFit really just fell on my lap, because again, I was opening this program here in Jamaica. I wasn't planning to be online for another, maybe I was thinking of having like a June 1st start for an online program, because of just how much it entails. I mean, you're an expert in this. It really requires everything of you. Like, I am, you know, if it wasn't for my sleep every day, like, I don't know, it's like my life is now constant, you know, because it's like constant around the clock to run an online membership. It's not very easy, you know, but it's been such fulfilling work, you know, being able to connect with, for now, predominantly women, but big up all the man them who are on board and like, you know, representing. But it's just so super cool, because we have people from London, people from Toronto, people from, you know, St. Lucia, people from all about the place. And we're just, you know, on one single mission. And that is, how can we show up for ourselves every single day? So we have 2 live classes, one in the morning, one in the evening. You know, most of the classes that I teach are HIIT classes, high intense interval training, because that's the type of training that I subscribe to. As I said, I'm on this meditation and mindfulness course, which I'm super excited about. Like, I feel like I'm back in college all over again. I'm a big nerd in, like, I love learning. So this has been a really meaningful course for me. So I'm going to be infusing meditation in the high intense interval training as soon as I'm finished the course and I'm licensed to be able to do that. And then we also have Pilates once a week. So big up Kita Marie, who is on board. So midweek we kind of pause the high intense bang, you know, hard or go home like crazy workouts with just kind of realigning the body, going into a different kind of strength that weight training doesn't really quite get to. Again, the mindfulness which is so important. Somebody like me, like I don't have much time to exercise. Like my exercise time is very, very precious. And so I like to personally spend it on how I feel best after a workout, which is the goal. Like I like go hard or go home in my workouts. I
Yeah.
don't play with my workouts. In
No,
fact,
she
my
doesn't.
workouts my workouts are only 30 minutes and you don't want 31 minutes. You understand?
You
Because
don't.
I believe in that, like, but then I also had to relearn that there is a requirement for balance because I did get injured in 2019. Again, early 2019 was a very interesting year.
For a lot of
2020
people.
was supposed to be my, like,
Yes.
ta-da!
Yes. A lot
It
of
was
people have
like, nope, dig
a
deeper.
tough
Um,
2019.
yeah, exactly. So, I'm kind of working through that, getting my body um, to, again, realign, readjust to get stronger. And I found that Pilates really has helped. So big up Keita Marie. She teaches on Wednesdays. And on Fridays, we have Nisha Yen. These are all strong Jamaican women who are just doing their thing. I just absolutely love them.
I
And
love
so
a blend. I love that it's a
it
blend.
is amazing.
Yeah.
It's fun. So like Fridays, we just have fun. We, really stick to a very regimented thing throughout the week. And then Fridays, well, Zumba Strong is crazy. But Zumba, again, we have fun. And then on Saturdays, we kind of go between Sharon Fiani and Kamila McDonald as it is right now, for yoga and meditation. And so we have our meditation practice at least once a week. But, kind of sprinkle throughout the week, I send links of, different people who inspire me, meditations that have been, particularly life changing for me to do over and over and over. And then on Sundays, we have cooking, nutrition, and meal prep
Yeah.
session.
Somebody said, don't forget the cooking class,
No,
right?
yes. Who is here? Oh gosh. Big up all my wealthy fam in the house who knows that this has been a really exciting little journey. I love my little community that has been building. We uplift each other. We hold each other accountable. If a member is not showing up, I'm like, I haven't seen you in class. What's going on? And it's been fulfilling work in both of these spaces, both the free 30-day program, which I really encourage everybody to go check out because it's free. It ain't gonna cost you a thing. So you can go to camp-canopy.com. I poured a whole lot of myself into this project. Really, like, I can't even tell you. Stacey, the backstories of this challenge. In fact, me now call nothing else a challenge again because it
No
looks
more
like
that. I
it's
dropped that word in 2019 to girl because it was a challenge for
can't
me.
manage because
Challenge for me and challenge for them.
exactly. So go download the 30-day challenge, camp-canopy.com, and join me in WellFit. We infuse the Camp Canopy workouts in as extra bonus workouts. And Stace, I've just been getting by with, staying close to my community, my good vibes people. I do a lot of the calling. I spend time with my family. Kaylani keeps me busy around the clock and keeps me laughing, keeps me, just remembering why I'm doing all of this. She's looking up to me to define, what a woman is and who a woman is. And, as a mother and as parents, we have big work to do, right? So that's the most important job. And really being able to, it sounds cliche, but like filling our cup could not be any more important because how are you going to show up for your children half-assed, when you don't even have your
It
thing
has
figured
to
out?
be coming from an over
Yeah.
and
From
abundant.
abundant, fulfilled,
Yeah.
when you are slept and you are meditating and whatever, then you can have some patience,
Yeah.
and believe
And
me, this online school
especially with
thing,
them home with you all day, every
just
day now. All
mad.
of mine are here. And
Mm-hmm.
yes, I'm like patience every day.
Yeah.
Meditation and I have a puppy
Yeah.
now. So it's
Oh, wow. A whole new child. There are four of you.
as a whole. But Cabs, I'm gonna wrap with you now
Yes.
because
Thank you,
this has been
Stace.
so amazing. I do want to offer something though because I think a lot of your community is on, and I actually believe that this. I don't think you have your intention cards yet.
No, I don't. I need to get it. Where can I get it?
You need to
Amazon?
get
What's
it.
going on?
I'm gonna have to drop it off for you. I'll drop it
Beg you
off.
to please.
Yes. And I would love for the cards to be like a part of your community.
Ooh,
So we
in
need to
Wealthy.
figure out, yeah, we
Yes,
need to
yes, yes,
figure out
yes.
how to make that
Ooh,
happen.
that's
But
easy.
their deck to the house, right?
Easy. My brain
So
is
that,
already going off. I'm excited.
so that
you
you
know us
can
already.
have it and you can pull and you can do
Oh,
whatever.
I love that.
So amazing for
It is.
setting your mind on a particular path that
Yeah.
day. And
Yeah.
I also think, because remember, we've been doing these amazing giveaways. I actually started to kind of assign giveaways this evening because each guest has come on and said, you know, hey, we're going to give something back
Yeah.
for persons that have joined.
Sure.
And I'm willing to pair up. I think you had said you'd give an ebook version of your Wake Up and Live second
And
edition.
I can also do 1 month membership to Wealthy.
Yes, girl.
Feeling abundant tonight.
Yes, girl, abundance. So we're gonna do this. We're gonna give a rebuild your body with
Ooh.
purpose package
Ooh,
that's
I like
gonna
it.
have the book, the ebook, the
Yeah.
1 month of Well Fit, and a deck of intention cards.
Wow. So how does one win this fabulous?
So this amazingness is won by person. So your picture is on my page, right? And so what you're gonna do is you're gonna go to my page.
I love
make
this.
sure you're following me. Make sure you're following Kamila, and then on my page, in the comments, under Kamila's picture, you're gonna say what you took away from these sessions, and I'm pulling for gems drop. We drop so much gem, might drop and pick up back 10 times. Money pull up like a million times.
I love it.
You don't have no excuse, right? You want this rebuild your body to be on purpose package. My girl, you could just market it and just sell it in.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're qualified.
Yeah.
If you just go
Okay. I love it.
and do that. Okay?
I
So
love it.
I'm looking out for those persons. I think that's so generous of you, Cam. Thank you so much.
Of course. I'm excited. It's been it's good stuff. You know, it's a beautiful community. And you know, it's not something that you would ever regret. You know, it's hard work, but it's good work. It's fulfilling work. It's meaningful. It translates to every other area of your life, really. You know.
Absolutely. I love that. Thank you.
Thank you. And so, we can get your book now because we are talking about my book and my things and my this and my that.
Okay.
Congratulations again, Stacey. 10 years.
Thank girl. Imagine like
I'm so proud of you.
My book, if you the link in my bio is linking you over to the Amazon page that has my book. And of course, if you RSVP'd, I hope you RSVP'd because though I'll have hundreds of RSVPs because they're getting like 2 free chapters and they're getting like my life on it. And they're getting like these Corona survival, epic Corona survival with the book, the card, the thing. So so go to the link in my bio to get
gosh, guys, trust me. Let me just interrupt you right now because let me tell you, Stacey is one of the most humble people you will ever meet. But this lady is life transforming, right? She's a big freaking deal. Like, you don't even understand. She's done such amazing work with people that we probably know. All of us know. You know, she really is a behind the scenes kind of woman because she's just super intelligent, just super knowledgeable. She goes above and beyond. She commits to excellence. I can't even speak enough about this woman right here, right now. And as I said, not many people can draw me out of my bed at that them time of night, yeah. When Stacey said, I was like, yes, let's do it. But Thursday. So, you know, I really, if you're not following Stacey, trust me, you're doing yourself a favor, because she just gives good gas. She just, you know, feel good energy, and just, she drops the gems, man, all the time. She drops them. And this book, she's been working on this book for 4.5 years. She speaks about her transformation. She also talks, I mean, there's an entire chapter on health and the kind of herbs that she had to take. And Jaman, I think was his name. The herbalist, of course, because I was so inspired by the story, you know, and that, like, you know, she was a single mother for so many years, these 3 beautiful, smart, intelligent children. She moved and packed up her life from Atlanta after, you know, going through her cancer scare. And, you know, oh my gosh, like, I can't even sum up in like 10 seconds or 30 seconds or even 2 minutes about, you know, just how incredible Stacey Hines is. Please follow her. She's inspiring. She's been a very big part of like what I have become, and, you know, the work I'm doing. She's inspired that from as early as 2016, very impactfully, you know. So big up, Stacey. Big up. Big up, big up, big up, big up your damn self. Trust me. Yeah, you're doing the damn thing, girl. Trust me. I really, I rate you. More power to you. You know, especially if you're somebody who might be, you know, going through cancer and just like now dealing with a new body after mastectomies.
Jesus, man problems.
Oh gosh, it's all there. You know, so this is an exciting time. Like, I'm genuinely excited, because I've seen you work on this book for the last 4.5 years, and we just know, say, it's gonna be epic. You know, that's her whole brand, epic, 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 and she really embodies that. So, boy, Stace, yeah, I have, so, like, literally, I have eternal love for you, respect, joy, and it is a real, it's a real joy to see all of these things manifest, because you've been speaking about them for so long and working on them so hard, and you deserve every bit of what is coming to you.
Okay, I did not cry all week, and I'm not going to cry now.
Don't cry. Just go to bed early.
Thank you so much, Cam. Like, I'm going to literally just cut out just that part and put it on every website, everywhere, ever. That is the best and most honorable testimonial I have gotten from anyone. I just love you so much. Thank you so much.
Love too. And big up everybody. Thank you so much for joining.
Thank you for joining. Thank you for joining.
Big up all my Well-Fit fam who joined in. Love you guys. Bad.
All right, guys. Good night, and thanks so much for being a part of this amazing epic anniversary. Take care.
Congratulations, Stace. Love you.
Thanks, Cam. Love. Bye.
Bye.